Hey lovely souls, welcome to Carolyn, where I teach you practical magic to help you make your day a little bit more magical. So today I have an energy check-in for the collective. So I'm going to be going through the tarot cards here, tapping into your energy, seeing where you're at with things, and seeing what advice or guidance you need in order to live in alignment with yourself. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, definitely stay tuned for this video. If this video helps you out, let me know in the comments down below, and also give this video a thumbs up and share with other people who need to hear this message. And make sure you turn on that bell notification when you subscribe so you don't miss my videos. I post new videos every single week and I post shorts daily. I sell personal readings. If you would like to purchase one, the link to my Etsy shop is going to be in the description box down below. So for your cards, you have the Three of Swords, Queen of Cups, the Magician, the Tower, the Sun, Two of Wands, and King of Wands. So the first message that I want to give you is that it's okay to slow down. It's okay to pause. It's okay to take a breath and to not be okay. It feels like recently with the Three of Swords, you're going through a rough time, and it feels like you keep trying to just push through or power through or distract yourself, and that you'll just be okay if you just like get through it, and like you're not taking time to sit with your negative emotions, you're not taking time to process them. It feels more so like you are shoving them down and you are bottling them away and hoping that they don't come up to the surface, and that's not sustainable for you. And I think you know that, but I think you're not ready to process that, and so it's how you're coping right now. And Spirit wants you to know, like, you're gonna have to process these emotions in one way or another, and so it's better for you to take the mindful approach and process them when you're in charge of how you process them. And so even in like with how I'm talking, there's a lot that I want to say, but like I'm trying to be deliberate with slowing down my message, because it feels like right now you're almost trying to like overstimulate your life so that you don't have to focus on your emotions, you don't have to focus on the present moment, on the present situation. And so it feels like you're constantly surrounded by like distractions, whether that's on your phone, whether that's activities in your life, whether that's commitments, responsibilities, work, friends, relationships with other people in your life. It's like you are trying to keep yourself from being alone and from analyzing your life. And so Spirit wants you to take conscious time out of your day to sit with it and let those unhappy feelings come to the surface so that you are able to deal with them in a way that's not going to end up ruining your life. And I say that because you also have the Tower card here, which is a lot of turmoil, it's a lot of craziness, and the Tower card is not a card you need to be afraid of, but you do need to be mindful of it. And I say that because the Tower doesn't mean that mass destruction is coming into your life. It means destruction has already occurred and you are trying to pretend that it hasn't. So the Tower doesn't come in and do anything to you. It is simply acknowledging that something bad has already occurred, and now you need to wake up and not be in denial about it. Because the Tower only crumbles when it's built on a shaky foundation. If you're aware of where your faults are, or what your weaknesses are, you're not going to build something unstable on top of it. So that's kind of the mindset that I need you to incorporate into your life. So now going and talking about these cards more as a story, with the Three of Swords, it feels like your stability has been completely shaken. It feels like what you had planned for your future, for your life, for your goals, for who you were as a person, was tied to something that is no longer a part of your life. And it feels like there's been a big shakeup where what you thought you once knew, the answers that you thought you had, you no longer do have. And so now it's like you're in this energy of, well, what the fuck? What do I do? What's my step forward? And it feels like as of lately, you've been trying to just cling on to whatever is still in your life and force that to be your chariot that's pushing you forward. That's what you've latched onto. That's what you have determined is going to be your new identity, I guess, or your stability in life. And so the way you're kind of processing whatever in your life fell apart, you're like, okay, I lost this, but I still have this. So now I'm putting all my energy into this one facet of my life. And that's not sustainable because we're multifaceted. And your identity, your personality, your hopes, your dreams, desires, ambitions, and all that is not derived from one specific thing in your life. It's from different areas of life that work together to create you. And it feels like you're almost afraid to take more risk. You're afraid to be disappointed again or go through this heartbreak again. And so you're holding on to what in your life you already had because it's safe, because it didn't leave you yet, so it's probably not going to. And so now what you're doing is almost overcorrecting. So for example, let's say you had 3 different interests. Let's say you had a favorite TV show, let's say you like to read, and let's say that you like to paint. So let's say that painting, something happened with it, it hurt you, and you're like, I'm never gonna paint again, I'm never gonna get a paintbrush, I'm never gonna have a canvas again, I'm never gonna create. All my friends who are into painting, I'm gonna cut off contact with them. And now my entire personality is just gonna be focused on reading and my favorite TV show, and I'm gonna get super passionate about those 2 things. Well, that can work for a little bit, but if you have this desire inside of yourself to create in some level, these other interests, while they are fascinating for you, are not allowing you to have that same creative outlet that painting gives you. And so what you're doing is all that creativity inside of yourself, you're stifling, because you're not transferring it over into something else that's healthy. It's not like you gave up painting, but you're going to pick up photography or something else instead. That's what it feels like is going on in your life. It feels like your stability has been shaken up and you are stifling that part of you that was hurt instead of finding a healthy way forward. And with the Queen of Cups, it feels like you made this conscious choice to overcorrect because you're so afraid of being hurt. And the Queen of Cups to me often depicts this energy of a mother-like energy. The Queen of Cups is someone who is deeply empathetic and compassionate, and they care about the people that they're with. They're very sensitive. And it feels like as a way to kind of protect yourself, you've begun to coddle yourself and approach problems in your life with this motherly like energy of protection and bubble wrap almost, where you're like, I'm not going to let this hurt me again, so I'm not going to do it again. I'm not going to take that risk. It really feels like energetically you fell off your bike, you got a scrape. Instead of healing that scrape, you decided to bubble wrap your entire being. And so you can't really ride a bike anymore because it's too uncomfortable. Like you're too wrapped up, you're too confined, you're too trapped in what you think is protection, but it's actually not. It feels like your problem solving approach to difficulties in your life is to avoid them. And it's like when you make a mistake, instead of learning from that mistake and learning how to not repeat the same pattern, you stop showing up altogether. And I'm going to tie this into the Magician card. So the Magician card represents why it's very easy for you to be distracting yourself right now, because it feels like you thrive and find happiness in the things that you're doing. So you like to do a lot. But right now it's like you're doing so much because you're trying to distract yourself instead of processing. It's like too much of a good thing can still be bad for you. And that's what it feels like. The Magician is this creator. It's this person who likes to do a lot and be self-sufficient and self-accomplished and kind of forge their own path by trial and error. But it feels like you are doing that now in a way where you are only focused on what you are doing, only focused on what you are creating, that you're not focused on yourself and if you're taking care of yourself. And with this Queen of Cups energy merged with this Magician, it feels like sometimes when there's an issue in your life, specifically with other people, you tend to take action in a physical way, in a way that you can, where you rapidly decide to alienate this person from your life and cut them off. And it feels like sometimes you do it in a way where you're saying that you're setting boundaries, but it's not setting boundaries from a healthy place. So I don't want this to be misconstrued, because setting boundaries is a very healthy thing to do and it's very needed to do in certain situations. But it feels like sometimes you block people or cut people out or start shit talking them as a way to not confront your own wrong in situations. So boundaries are meant to be set. If someone is crossing something with you that is not making you comfortable, it's making you uncomfortable, and it's your way of telling them, hey, don't do this or you're not going to be in my life anymore. Setting boundaries is acknowledging when someone is compromising your peace and putting protection around yourself to protect your own peace. But it feels like sometimes you have a habit of assuming that your peace is being broken or being breached, when it is really just someone showing concern for you or acting like you and mirroring your energy, and that triggers you. And it feels like Spirit's trying to be very gentle with this approach, but because you have this Queen of Cups energy, a bubble wrapping yourself, sometimes you are your own overbearing mother, overprotective mother, where you say, oh, this person said something I don't like, I'm not speaking to them again, or I'm not going to be friends with this person anymore. I'm not going to have them in my life. And you're not learning from the relationship. You're not learning from what they're saying. You're not hearing them out. You're not listening. It feels like sometimes with this magician energy, you keep people in your life just so they can hear you talk and you never have to listen to them. And especially now that things feel a little chaotic in your life, it feels like you could have people who genuinely care about you, but they don't know what the right course of action is to help you without you taking it the wrong way. And it feels like there's a lot of people in your life who have kind of backed off because they don't want to try and help you, but do it in a way that you determine to be unfit or not right. And then you turn your anger, your frustration of this previous situation onto them. It feels a lot of times with you, there is this energy of projection where you take your problems and throw them onto other people and blame them. And it's like you're spewing this anger instead of reflecting on yourself and where you went wrong. And obviously the situations in your life are not always your fault. Like there's going to be shitty people that you encounter. There's going to be shitty situations that happen to you, but how you react is up to you. And it feels like you tend to be very intense with your emotions and your approach with other people, and it feels like a lot of times you can dish it but you can't receive it. It feels like you can do things to others, but the moment they do it back to you, you take offense. And that's where spirit wants you to be a little bit more mindful, because it's okay to have boundaries, but you have to understand if those are boundaries that are actually needed, that are actually protecting you, or they're ricochets that you have claimed your boundaries so that you don't have to take accountability for your own actions. It feels like right now there's a lot of healing that you need to go through. There's a lot of steps forward that you need to take for yourself that other people are not going to be able to take for you. And it almost feels like, because your life feels very chaotic right now, you're looking at other people to save you or to coddle you. And this is Spirit's message to say they're not going to. That's not their job. It's your job to pick up the pieces for yourself. And like, I get it, that doesn't always seem fair. So with the Tower card, I want you to remember the phrase, hurt people hurt people. And I feel like that's what's going on in your life right now. And this doesn't feel like it's intentional. It just feels like right now, like, you're feeling lost, you're feeling confused, and you don't know how to find solid footing. And so because of that, it's very hard for you to look at other people in your life who have what you want, but that you don't yet have, and be happy for them and root for them. It feels like you're kind of looking to a lot of people to save you, help you out, coddle you. But at the end of the day, one, people can't help you if they don't know how bad you are hurting, and it feels like a lot of your emotions you keep bottled up inside. But two, it's also not anyone else's responsibility to save you. And I know that's not fair, and I know that's not what you want to hear, but it's the truth. If you keep waiting for other people to step in and heal you and save you, you're going to be waiting forever. Spirit's giving you this message because you're not in alignment with yourself. You know that, but I think you don't even know how bad it's gotten. I don't think you know how to get back on track, and that's why you need this video, because the way that you're going to get back on track is by you acknowledging what you're doing, becoming aware of it. You can't heal yourself and take steps to be happy if you are lying to yourself and saying you already are happy. If you're living in this tower and in denial of everything that's coming crashing down around you, and you're like, oh my God, it's so beautiful outside today, you're never going to notice that the reason it's so warm inside is because lightning has struck and the building is on fire. There's always a way you can manipulate a situation and see the best in it. And if you are not mindful of your own energy, you're always going to make excuses. You're always going to be stuck in this loop where you are not realizing what you are doing, and you're not going to face consequences because of that, because then you're always going to have an excuse for the consequences. You're always going to have a way to justify your behavior. And I honestly feel like what would make you feel so much better about this situation is to stop lying about it, to stop pretending that you're okay. It feels like, again, there's people in your life who want to help but kind of feel like they have to tiptoe around you because they don't want to set you off. And it feels like it would just be better for your sake and their sake, instead of like yelling at them or getting frustrated with them every time they try and help, and instead of lying to them, just be honest and be like, you know what, I'm not happy, I'm really sad, I'm really hurt, I'm really frustrated at the situation. Whatever you're feeling, tell them how you feel. Be honest with yourself about how you feel. Instead of like distracting yourself and hiding from your own emotions, talk to someone about your emotions. Some of you like talk to a therapist. Others of you talk to your friends. Like, it feels like there's this image or persona or belief that you're just trying to like cling on to and hold on to, but it's like the more you hold on to it, the more stressed you're getting, the more upset you're getting, and it's destroying your happiness. So Spirit's giving you this message to say, just admit that you're not okay. Admit that it sucks. Admit that you're upset. Admit whatever it is that you're currently feeling about the situation. But don't pretend that you're fine, because lying and putting on the show for everyone is making you miserable. It also feels like part of the distractions in your life is that you're taking on all these responsibilities. Stop adding more to your plate. Like, your plate is already overflowing and you're trying to add more. And it's like you're at the buffet and you're like, oh, I can grab this, I can grab that. And what started off as being a really good indulgent meal has turned into something that's going to give you a really bad stomach ache. It's turning into a liability because everything's falling on the floor and other people are gonna slip. Like, you need to just pull back. You need to pull back. You need to slow down. You need to breathe. You need to process. You need to grieve. And with the Sun card, something I want to make clear, you don't need to know exactly who you are or where you're going or what your goal in life is to be living in alignment. Alignment does not mean that you have all your answers. It doesn't mean that you know everything about yourself. It just means that you're secure and confident with where you're currently at and where you're going, and not the long term where you're going, but where you're going as far as like what steps you're taking. So taking the Fool's journey as an example, alignment for the Fool isn't him knowing that he's going to start as a fool and end with the World card. Alignment for the Fool is simply taking that first step off the cliff and trusting that he's going to end up where he's meant to be. Trusting that he's going in the right direction because that path is making him happy. He doesn't know that he's going to meet the magician. He doesn't know what he's going to encounter after that, but he's still in alignment because he's taking the action that feels best for him in the moment. I want you to start becoming more mindful of yourself, your actions, what actions make you happy, what actions don't make you happy, and start doing less of the things that don't make you happy and start doing more of the things that do make you happy. If it is natural for you to fall into the state where you use your own pain as a way to project onto others, that doesn't mean you're going to magically be able to stop that. But what it does mean is that you're going to be more mindful about it, that if you catch yourself projecting or putting someone else down or yelling at them, being frustrated, you're going to catch yourself and stop that and not do it in that moment, in that instance. That's how you're going to grow. And that's going to allow you to be more in alignment with yourself, because it doesn't make you happy to hurt people. It's just what you've defaulted into. And this also applies to the lack of stability you have in your life. Being in alignment doesn't mean that you're going to suddenly have every answer and you're going to feel so stable, so secure, and feel 100% confident in everything. Embracing the energy of the Sun card means that you're illuminating what in your life doesn't feel good, doesn't feel stable, and you're becoming aware of if there's still things in your life that you're holding on to that's leading to this discomfort. And if there's things in your life currently that are leading to it, it's time to let it go. The things in your life that make you happy, that make you feel confident and secure, those are what you need to hold on to. But with the Sun card here, alignment is also you teaching yourself how to take risk again and how to learn from mistakes and overcome them and not let them define you, where you have to shut that area of yourself out completely, where you need to stifle yourself. In order for you to be authentic to who you are, you can't hide away the parts of you that are hurt. You can't be living in bubble wrap. You have to accept that there's risk and rewards to everything. And sometimes the risk is not going to be good, but you're going to learn. And so the next time you get scraped, it's going to suck, but you're going to heal. I feel like because you have this energy of just quitting and giving up, you've never actually allowed yourself the process to heal. You've never experienced how to process pain and not let it continue to hurt you and not carry that hurt with you. It feels like you've constantly carried hurt around on you, and that's why it's so easy for you to put that onto other people. And now it's time for you to be aware of your actions, of your previous mistakes, and how you've carried that with you, and now it's time to release that, learn how to take it off. That's why therapy would be really good for some of you, because you need to learn different coping skills, and you need to learn how to be aware of what you're feeling and acknowledge your feeling without letting that feeling control you or control your actions. With this Two of Wands, I want you to know you're at a crossroads of your life right now where you have so much potential. You have so many options that are open to you. And so don't feel like with this message, I'm telling you that you can't do anything or that you have to stifle this energy of the magician. I just want you to be more deliberate and mindful about this energy with the magician. Spirit doesn't want you to stop everything that you're doing. Spirit wants you to instead be more mindful about what you're doing and why you're doing it. Don't commit to things for the sake of distracting yourself. Commit to things because you're inspired by them or you're passionate about them. They make you happy. You want to do it. It's about refocusing on that why and making sure it's a positive why and not a negative one because you're trying to avoid something else in your life. And so with this Two of Wands, this is a card that represents action. And it feels like right now, like there's so much action in your life that you can take, and there's different paths that you can go down for yourself. And it's all about you deciding which one you actually want and going for it. But while you are taking more onto your plate, maybe try and reprioritize what you're taking on. Right now, there's a lot of energy you have where you want to do stuff. So lean into that, but do so in a productive way. Focus on taking action in your life in ways that you can improve yourself. Whether this is reading more self-help books, whether this is getting a therapist, whether this is journaling, whether this is finding a hobby that really makes you passionate about, whether this is finding people who have been through similar situations to you and sharing your experiences with them. And there's so many different avenues you can take to enrich your life and to become more mindful and to set better habits for yourself. And that's what I feel like you need to focus on right now. Instead of distracting yourself for the sake of distraction, find a way to build healthier habits for you that help shape you into the person that you want to be, that help you find alignment within your life instead of distracting yourself and bottling up these emotions. Allow yourself to accept more opportunities that allow you to heal and allow you to grow. And I'm going to tell you that while it's going to feel rewarding in the end, the beginning process of that is going to feel daunting and intimidating and scary. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be worthwhile, but it's going to be something that takes a conscious effort of you to commit to. So with this Two of Wands, when it comes to building the life that you actually want, the life that's going to make you happy, it requires consistency and it requires you to become comfortable with being uncomfortable and still having to show up for yourself, still having to make that commitment to yourself. It feels like it's so easy for you to make commitments to other people, but when it comes to yourself, that becomes real. That becomes something that you actually have to process. And again, right now, it's like you don't want to process things. So in order to heal from this Three of Swords energy and the Tower energy, you need to take action with this Two of Wands that is conscious and that is mindful and that allows you to be aware of what you don't want to do and still do it anyway. So now you've heard Spirit's guidance for you and their message for you about where you're currently at and what you need to do in order to become happier in your life and to gain more stability and confidence. The King of Wands represents your mindset, and I'm going to level with you. The King of Wands is stubborn. The King of Wands is rigid, and the King of Wands can grow. You know, every card in tarot has good and negative sides to it. But what I want you to understand with this message is that this is not me attacking you. This is not Spirit attacking you. This is not the universe judging you in any way. This is simply the steps that is required and the action that is required if you don't want to feel this way anymore. And so you don't have to be stubborn. You can take this as insight to grow and to heal and to overcome this current situation. But you're the one who's going to have to be able to do that. You're the one who's going to have to sit with your King of Wands energy right now and decide, are you going to be the King of Wands who's stubborn, or are you going to be the King of Wands who's a leader, who shows up when they need to, who does the work and inspires other people to do the work as well? Because the King of Wands is someone where he is a man of action. He's someone who's going to show up and show others what they need to do. I like to describe the energy of the King of Wands as Simba from The Lion King. Simba is someone who has limiting beliefs. He believes that he's the reason his father is dead, and he carries a lot of guilt and shame with that. And he allows himself to stifle who he's meant to be because he runs away because of that fear. And he doesn't want to face it. He doesn't want to confront it. Even when knowledge shows up in his life, he doesn't want to accept responsibility because he is internally struggling with his emotions. He's not processing the situation. He's not seeing the truth of what really happened there, and how sometimes our perspective is not the truth. It's not the reality, but our perspective feels like that to us. And so he becomes stubborn with his vision of what happened, and it makes it very difficult for him to want to take on the responsibility that he has. It's easier for him to run away from it and live with Timon and Pumbaa and not have to face those consequences because he's suppressed it, because he's ignored it. Then at the end of the movie, he changes. He's not acting as stubborn. He decides on his own accord. Yes, there's other influences, but ultimately he's the one who makes the choice to go back and to get rid of Scar and to fix things and rectify it. In order for him to get to that point, there's a lot of inner work that needs to go on. And that's what it feels like you are right now. It's like you are Simba right now. There's a lot that's going on, and it feels unstable, and it feels difficult, and it doesn't seem like you're going to be able to ever process this or overcome this or become the person that you would love to be, because you feel like you're not worthy of becoming that person. But Spirit's giving you this message today because you are capable of it. Just like Simba is able to heal, you're going to be able to heal. But you have to make that choice if you're going to heal. If you're going to be the King of Wands who becomes the leader, or if you're going to be the King of Wands who stays stubborn and never goes back, never heals, never processes, and just keeps battling things inside yourself until you explode and erupt. And so right now there's a lot that you need to think about, and I'm sending you nothing but love at this moment. I hope my message helped you. If it did, give this video a thumbs up and share with others. And feel free, if you don't have anyone in your life that you feel like you can talk to, vent in the comments, get it out. Sometimes just letting yourself word vomit can make you feel so much better about a situation. My Etsy shop's going to be linked in the description box down below if you want to purchase your own personal reading. And if you're not already subscribed, please do so. I would love to have you a part of this family. Like I said earlier, I post new videos every single week, and I post shorts daily. So make sure you turn on the bell notifications so you don't miss out when I post my next video. I can't wait to see you all in my next video. And until then, I hope you have a very happy, cozy season. Bye!